fading. We gotta go. I'll get my car. I brought mine. Yours. I gotta get me one of those.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bat Dance Discussions. And we have a packed show tonight. So if my guest is ready, I know he's getting dressed right now. Okay, please welcome as I bring on Josh Herrera. How are you, man?
I'm always dressed. What's going on, Bat Dan?
Nothing. Just really excited to talk some great topics. Talk some Ayer Cut. Talk some Batfleck. Talk some Jay Oliva. And we got Batman and Robin. Two representations of both the Batfleck movie and the Ayer Cut. So we got in the chat right now. We got Geek Defense.
What's up, buddy?
The Curly Ray.
What's going on, Curly? Jimmy Man.
Sean Franklin. And then hopefully you are just joking, Geek Defense Initiative, because Bat Dan's Thoughts does not condone any violence whatsoever. But anyway, I'm just ready to get started, honestly. Just so much fun stuff to talk about. And actually, first topic, Bat Dan's unboxing.
Oh, okay.
So I got two. Are we going to say something?
You got something? I actually got something also, but you go first, obviously.
Okay, sounds good. So I got two things, actually. So, obviously, this is actually, I hung out with a friend this week, and this is what she got me.
I got that somewhere. I have that same thing. Is that the black Batman?
Yes, black.
It kind of looks like Keaton.
Does a little bit, yeah.
Color scheme. Awesome.
But leaving this in the box, because any good collector knows you leave this in the box. And actually, let me just add something real quick. Okay. So I have another thing, too, I'm going to show. And I added another topic just for you, Josh. So now we're going to... So this is... I blocked out the address, so make sure, but this is
you got this shot.
I just wanted to show I just wanted to show that part. So
Sin Havoc.
Oh, Sin Havoc in the chat.
Right on time.
Let's see saying tonight. What up, Sin Havoc? You're just catching my unboxing right now. So I've ordered multiple things from McFarlane this past week, so I don't know which one this is. So you're finding out with me.
The suspense.
Redemption. Okay, we'll look at that later. And it is... Da-da-da, da-da-da, it is... Nightmare Batfleck.
A BBS and Zack Snyder Justice League.
Yes. Technically, it's advertised as BVS, but still, look at that.
Epic. That's our Batfleck right there.
Let me just find a place to put this somewhere safe, and then we are going to move on to...
So, I think Batman and Robin had to be similar. So there's one guy right there. Nightmare, you're right. The BBS, the sculpt looks so good, right, Batman?
Yeah.
And
really dope.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
he's back, Wonder Woman. I love the package, the art on the back too, from the movie.
Yeah.
And my man.
Oh, nice. Did you get that 2-pack at Walmart?
I did. I was actually it sold out in like 3 minutes, but yeah, I got to get that. And of course, dun, 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 dun.
Wait, hold on. Let me
There he is.
just so you can see my reaction.
Our Superman, Henry freaking Cavill. Sorry for the glare. He looks epic. I looked at his face. He's the first one that I looked at. And I was like, yeah, this is epic. It's actually, I think it's like the Justice League figure, but it's got a new paint on it. So it looks pretty epic. And of course, Doomsday for the first time. Thank you, McFarlane. Trick or treat went well. For you too, Batman.
Yeah, actually, just go off the artwork real quick, and I guess you have that too.
Epic. Do you have like a Justice League shelf, or are you gonna make one?
Yeah, I got to figure out how I'm fitting all the stuff in my apartment. Actually,
Same.
look, if I had like a house or something, this would be a lot easier. So I'll gonna figure that out.
Don't forget, those are redemption points apparently from McFarlane's store. So.
Oh yeah, that's what that is. Okay,
that's new. So I was like, thanks, Todd.
That's a good way. Reward customer loyalty. So,
yeah,
see, that's funny. I mean, SnyderVerse isn't popular yet. Why does this sell then? If SnyderVerse is not popular, it's very weird how that.
Like our friend says, I don't get it.
Neither do I. And now, Halloween Day Attire 2024. So. This kind of relates to a trending event that a certain Batfleck Movie account did. So let me get this right. Yes. So here's how I dressed. Literally how I'm dressing right now. I didn't really wear a costume.
Bat Dan all the time.
And then we got Josh Herrera.
True enough. Mr. J was out on Halloween.
And Batman as well.
Yeah. Shout out to my grandfather who was Batman. Batfleck, I'm sorry. He was having a fun. He kind of was like, he didn't want me to take the mask back. He's like, oh, you can leave it here. He liked it. He liked it a lot. And Robin. Yeah, I was Robin during the day. I redeemed a free or a discount Chipotle meal in my costume as Robin. And then Joker came out at night. Did you have a good Halloween?
Yeah, I did actually. I worked and then I had pizza and those cinnamon bread twists from Domino's too. And I watched Halloween, the 1978 movie.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, I did. It's funny how different horror movies are back then as they are now. And let's see, just pull up some comments. Just people loving the merchandise.
Zach stuff sells. I mean, selling out everywhere. I think the Superman 2-pack sold out. Halloween is over. Hey, not in Gotham.
Nope. Well, the long Halloween. Exactly. Halloween weekend. Although I started listening to Christmas music on yesterday, so.
Just disrespecting Thanksgiving like that.
I consider Thanksgiving part of Christmas at this point. It's like the pre-setup for.
It's the appetizer.
Exactly. I'm always wear Christmas stuff to Thanksgiving. I wear my Santa hats, and Christmas music gets played at Thanksgiving now.
It happens.
Plus, it's nice to have the Christmas stuff set up because then I can enjoy Thanksgiving, not having to think about it.
People just November 1st, Christmas time.
I wait till mid-November at least before I get too far into it. So, okay, well, now let's get to some of our topics. We got some kind of appetizer topics before we get to the main stuff. So one is Dylan Walsh speaks out, Superman and Lois. And actually, this is going to relate to something we talk about later. But so for those of you who don't know, Dylan Walsh is the guy who plays General Sam Lane, Lois Lane's father, on the show Superman and Lois. And I'm actually a huge fan of that show. I really like it. And it's funny because Tyler Hoechlin on Supergirl, I don't like that guy so much. He's a punk who got taken out by Supergirl, and they needed to nail in everyone's head that Supergirl beats Superman. But Superman Lois is actually set apart from the Arrowverse. It's not part of the Arrowverse. It's its own show. The only connection is played by some of the same actors. So Tyler Hoechlin does a really good job, in my opinion, as Superman. It's a TV show Superman, obviously. But one thing I'll say, the showrunners have great respect for Zack Snyder. They don't disrespect Zack Snyder. In fact, they praise him. They've even taken story elements from him, too. Like, the whole Kryptonian birth, artificial birth thing, and how Superman's the only natural birth. They incorporate that into Superman and Lois.
Yeah, I remember that.
So how much of the show have you watched, if any?
I think the summer I caught up on season 3. So I'm not really, honestly, it's such the weird thing, Dan. Like, I actually didn't mind. I actually liked Supergirl. Okay, so I know, but I understand Supergirl has flaws. I liked Tyler Hoechlin on that show. For some reason, I hated the suit in Superman and Lois, and I didn't really like the styling of his hair. And in my opinion, the show felt like this should have been kind of like Henry's story. And this was a way for Jeff Johns to kind of like, oh, we're doing the story, so sorry, you can't do this. I did like the teenage stuff, the kids, John and Jordan. I didn't really like Jordan the actor, but I liked that dynamic.
Wait, when you say Jordan the actor, sorry, just to clarify, because the original Jonathan's actually the actor's named Jordan.
Yeah. That's right. Because they recast him, right?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Because season 3, yeah.
Yeah, so which Jordan are you referring to?
I like Jonathan. I was
a
fan of Jonathan. And of course, now they recast him. But that was the stronger part of the show. I ended up liking Lana's boyfriend more than like Clark and Lois's story. So, but I understand a lot of people in this community like the show. And Dylan Walsh, I love him. He's a great actor. I remember him from Congo. I don't know if you remember that movie. I think that was the name of it, Congo. And he was on Nip Tuck. But yeah, his comments were pretty crazy. I mean, it was interesting back then at Hall H at Comic-Con. Superman and Lois was I think they were one of the earlier panels, like the first panels. And what's her name? Lois Bitsy? Is that her name?
I don't know. I know the one who plays Lois, right? I don't know how you pronounce that.
I don't know her name, but
you might see it written. I'm not going to pronounce that.
She was basically doing the PR cover, like, look, we are so excited for James Gunn. I'm so excited. We're all both super supportive. And it was interesting how Tyler just kind of like set back. He kind of like reiterated what she said afterwards, but Lois was really the one that was trying to do the PR cover up. And now her father is like, nope, here's what actually is going on.
I mean, to be fair, he said he wasn't sure, though. He says he thinks it's part of it. But he said, even he was kind of playing diplomat. He's like, no, I don't hold any grudges. That's just the nature of the business and yada, yada, yada. I mean, this show is way better than Smallville. The actors kind of ruined Smallville for me with their behavior. That's with them needlessly throwing shade at Zack Snyder. But the biggest thing is, Gunn's notes contributed to this, right? Gunn did not want another Superman competing with his. That's basically the long and short of it. And, I'm going to kind of say this. I do feel in some ways I'm kind of okay with the show ending because at the end of the day, it's getting an ending. That's the biggest thing. I mean, I know it's supposed to go on for 7 seasons, so it's a shame they won't get their full plan. But when shows we've seen shows that go on too long and then they just jump the shark. I mean, The Flash. Oh, don't give me the TV show The Flash. Don't get me started on that. So in some ways, I mean, it's not the end of the world in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to hate fans of the show are going to hate me for saying that, but to me, if it ends on a strong note, then honestly, you can't complain, in my opinion. It sucks why it happened. It's kind of like, I'll tell you, Josh, it's how I feel about the Batman. I don't want the Batman franchise, even though it's not my favorite. I mean, I like the Penguin, but the Batman movie, do not so much. But even still, despite that, I want it to end based on its own merit. Like, if it ends, I want it to end because the fans didn't like it, not because Gunn swept in and was like, nope, you can't do this anymore. And, oh, really? That's... Yeah, see, and I'll say that. I like that Sam Lane was actually a nice guy, because they always make him a douche, but this was like one of the only shows where they actually made him a genuinely good guy.
I actually liked his story. I think it was in season 3 that he was trying to like have a romance,
Yes.
Start dating again and get out there. And so I liked his relationship with the boys.
It was a really great relationship, and I like that Superman actually trusted Sam Lane with his secret, because I don't think I've ever seen that in any Superman iteration ever, where Sam Lane just knows Clark Kent is Superman.
I will say that I've always missed that element in the movies, Sam Lane. So it was cool seeing it here.
And who knows if Zach got his if they went forward with the whole DCU under Zack Snyder, you could have gotten a cool Sam Lane. But yeah. I think even if we, when we get Cell, it's going to be a lot more condensed now to really just the 5-part arc and maybe some other stuff. We'll talk more about that later. But, oh, well, Cinehouse, I'm really glad you said that. I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's going to bring a good point later in production. So, yep, we know that. It's all about ego, which is just pathetic, though, because it's like Gunn wants everything to be about him, and this is my biggest issue with Gunn. It's like, if he embraced Elseworlds a lot more people would respect his universe, I think. Like, if he didn't shortchange SupermanAndLois, if he wasn't trying to hide the Batman Epic Crime Saga, if he let Henry Cavill at least finish his arc with ZSJL 2 and 3 with Zack Snyder, I feel like a lot more fans would be more embracive of his universe. But he's not doing that because of his ego, and that's going to hurt him in the long run.
I agree, 100%.
So, but yeah, anything else you want to say on this topic before we move on?
No, I just really I've read an article that it was like supposed to be 7 seasons, so it is very unfortunate if like what Sin Havoc is saying is true, because this has a built-in fan base, and literally everything we've seen. Although I'm not a big fan of this franchise, I know that there are fans. So now every fan base, SnyderVerse, the Batman fans, now Superman and Lois, all the CW have been cut off, right? And it's all the focus is just this Gunn reboot, and it's just like, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me, but it's very unfortunate for most fans.
One thing I will admit, though, the storyline, the last season, you can kind of tell they're trying to cram in all their storylines that they had planned for the next 4 seasons into one. So we'll say that.
I'm going to catch up. Probably after the season ends. I'll probably see spoilers. I already have seen some, but I will give you my thoughts after I finish it.
Sounds good. And actually, speaking of the Superman franchise, Superman characters, we got change. Stream. Okay, there we go. Sasha Calle speaks out as she was talking about how disappointed she was that she's no longer going to be Supergirl because she was offered a multi-picture contract. Josh, how do you feel about this one?
I mean, there's going to be lawsuits. I love the Flash. You love the Flash. A lot of people in this community love the Flash. A lot of people didn't. But there is some interesting things with that production, like that I can't answer still. Like why Ben Affleck's named in the credits, why there's certain cut scenes why the original plan was to do like a all-female Justice League. I think was at first she was going to replace Henry, and then she was going to be an addition to Henry, and then all the Batgirl stuff and the timelines. So there's a whole Snyder Cut-esque story that I think the Flash can be told about the Flash movie, right?
Yeah, well, we know that James Gunn stepped in and messed everything up. He wanted everything to end, because what I like about DeLuca, what he was doing is that he was, even though Sasha Calle was originally supposed to replace Henry Cavill's Superman, when he came in, he was still going to make her part of the new plans. And Wilson Havoc, I have it pulled up. If there's anything you want me to bring up, a certain point, just let me know, but put it in the chat because I don't go around between tabs. But yeah, just so many different plans that they had with her, and then Gunn came in. Gunn came in and messed everything up. And it's like, this is what bothers me, Josh. So many people were trying to make that movie fail. They were going out of their way to make that movie fail. Not just saying, hey, I don't really want to see this movie. Like, I'm talking about showing edited clips. And they're like, oh, well, the actors got paid. They're fine. I'm like, first of all, if you claim to support Ezra Miller, if you really think that that's not going to hurt Ezra Miller at all, you are sadly mistaken. But then Sasha Calle. Now she's out of a role too, because you guys needed to feel good about yourselves. Because if the Flash had done well, James Gunn would have had to continue that saga as an Elseworld, at the very least. That's just
scratching the surface.
I don't know. I just felt bad for her. I really did, seeing that.
Hey, she's gonna be in a movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Yeah, on Netflix.
On Netflix. I think we know why she's speaking out. She knows she's on the right side of history.
Well, you know something, though, Sin Havoc, with all these lawsuits coming out with some of these actors, I'm just saying, maybe if they license some of these projects off to Netflix in their roles, maybe they should consider doing that to help, loosening the lawsuit a little bit. Because I'm just saying, Zack Snyder could work with Sasha Calle if he got the rights to do ZSJL 2 and 3. What's stopping Zack Snyder from calling up Sasha Calle? It's like, hey, I need a Supergirl in my universe.
Yep.
I mean, I do have that one theory, which is only a theory, nothing I've heard of, that Zack can't use DCU castings outside of his 3 movies. But that's just a theory. And if Warner Brothers needs to get a lawsuit off their hands, yeah, no, I totally agree. It's just the way those contracts work, though. I feel like they're really more to protect the studios than to protect the actors, unfortunately. And
sale, fire sale coming soon.
I'm just saying, WBD, you could pay off a lot of damage if you made some deals with Netflix, give the license off, outsource the contracts, and Sin Havoc was saying, the budget was the issue. But if Netflix is producing it, that's not Warner Brothers' budget, is it? So,
yeah, the Batgirl cut, the Batgirl movie. Sorry.
Yes, it is. Yep. R.I.P. Which I'll tell you, Josh. Every time I see that movie and Ben Affleck, I'm like, oh shit, Ben Affleck's dead. Like I keep thinking that every time because the movie's called R.I.P. I'm like reading this. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, it's his movie.
Long live Batfleck forever.
Yeah, Ben Affleck. Next time, please do not have misleading titles next time. Okay. Don't do that. Can you change your movie to rip something else? Just add something else so that I don't think you're dead every time they talk about that movie.
They know what they're doing.
But Sasha Calle, I think, despite what people thought of the Flash movie, I think everyone pretty much unanimously agreed they like Sasha Calle as Supergirl.
She's great. I loved her. I wanted to see her scenes that were cut. Yeah,
same here. I really want that Muschietti cut. I want that Muschietti cut with Henry Allen's re-scenes. Henry Allen's scenes refilmed with Billy Crudup. I know that last bit's a little bit of a stretch. I do admit that, but as a fan, I still want it.
Well, she had a ton of action scenes with Zod, apparently, and all the Kryptonians that were more brutal. I think Mikey said, "Rest in peace." And that's just like CGI stuff that they can do. They were doing alternate cut, like with the Snyder Cut. So.
Yeah. So and that's what I say. Sell, just sell, because I think if Sasha Calle wants to be Supergirl again, if you want to see Sasha Calle Supergirl, the best chance is sell. That's what I tell certain people who want Ezra Miller to continue as Flash. Stop supporting James Gunn and start supporting Sal, because that's the better chance of seeing some of these actors from The Flash continue.
All or nothing, baby.
And now let's get on to the main topics. Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy. Now, I do want to emphasize this is a rumor, and normally I wouldn't be talking about a rumor, especially from this source. But there's one key thing I'm going to bring up next, in the next topic, that's kind of making me think about why I'm kind of bringing this up right now. So there's a rumor from Cinehouse saying that Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy are trying to release the Ayer Cut again. And just based off this rumor, I guess, what do you think about this? What do you think about this possibility?
I mean, it makes sense. Netflix already asked about Ayer Cut, right?
I don't know if that's officially confirmed. I've heard, I think some backstage insight we might have heard from certain people.
I mean,
like you said.
Troublemaker. We're bad guys. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. Me and you were on. Shout out to Apex Leon on his channel. We talked about the Ayer Cut, and I'm convinced, Bat Dan. I mean, there's just no way that any of these movies that involve like superheroes, these unreleased cuts, there's no way they're just going to stay in the vault forever, right? We know things eventually come out. Why? Money. So of course it makes sense. Like for somebody to say, oh, they were negotiating and like it didn't go through, there's no reason for it to not continue. Right.
Exactly. Things can change.
And so, yeah, there's been a lot of different like things, David Ayer's been posting things, Zach always posting things and like little clues here and there. So, I mean, whether or not it did happen or not, it's going to happen eventually, in my opinion. I think the Ayer Cut is inevitable. It will come out. How long? Don't know. But yeah, I think it's definitely believable. What about you?
Absolutely. Well, especially here's my big thing too, is that James Gunn's in charge of DC Studios and productions that happen under DC Studios specifically. But if, let's say, they're selling a certain DC movie or licensing it off to Netflix, DC Studios wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with that. So that might fall under Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdy's purview. Plus, Warner Brothers Discovery, they need money. They broke. They need that money. So
those stocks are low.
So if they want to sell some certain projects off, I mean, this is an already filmed movie that takes less work than the Snyder Cut did. This is easy money for Warner Brothers Discovery. They don't even have to put any other production into it. Just collect a licensing fee. That's it. They'd be foolish not to do this. And I think absolutely in a certain case like this, Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca could go over Gunny Poo's head, because it is kind of a weird, like, where exactly falls under Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca's purview and what falls under James Gunn and Peter Safran's purview. Because Full Circle, for example, Josh, you were there, right? Which pair did Zack Snyder think? Did he think Pam Abdy or Mike DeLuca, or James Gunn and Peter Safran?
He didn't think his friend. He thanked Mike and Pam.
Interesting. That's good to know. So I'm just saying there's still some pull they have. And I think getting an already filmed movie licensed off to Netflix, they may have enough pull to do that. Especially, again, budget. That's the key thing. If you sell it off to Netflix, Gunn can't do anything about budgets. If he used budgets to cancel Superman and Lois, he can't do anything about selling to Netflix. I'm just saying, Sky and Leon were really onto something. And, well, I mean, we'll see about that. I mean, I don't like to necessarily promote the idea of flopping too much, at least not for the sake of sell happening. I like what Sky said. You know, if Gunn's universe flops 100% on its own merits, not because of demand for the SnyderVerse, but, well, I do have some thoughts about that. But I do think, you know, the Ayer Cut, absolutely. Because, Josh, here's the biggest thing, though. Here's why I'm even entertaining this at all. James Gunn loves to debunk stuff. He goes out of his way to debunk stuff. We know. We say he needs to take option 3 and not respond. He's like, either I have to act like this is true or I have to debunk. I mean, what else can I do? Option 3, but he doesn't do option 3. To not say anything. But that's why this is interesting. This rumor has gone around very far. James Gunn would have debunked this by now, I feel like. That's why I'm talking about this. Because if James Gunn has... I guess, Josh, what do you think about that?
You're right. I mean, watch. Now that you did the stream, probably like 2 days later, he's probably going to like comment on it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, guys, that's what happens with this stuff, right? I mean, this could become out... This topic could come outdated tomorrow. It could become... He could be watching the stream right now, and this could happen in the middle of doing the stream. Who knows? And... if we need to respond to that, I'll bring Josh on. We'll retract and whatever. But for now, until the reality we're living in, and yeah, I do know about that idea too.
Parts, yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I kind of want sell like to Netflix to happen first because mergers take forever to close, and I don't want to rely on a merger again. We learned that lesson already about relying on mergers.
Yep.
But that's what's interesting. James Gunn has been absolutely silent, especially because out of everything, we know he would hate this movie to get released because it would outshine his movie, The Suicide Squad, which flopped. And no, I don't want to hear the pandemic because Godzilla Kong did well. And that was also HBO Max release and Warner Brothers. Spider-Man, No Way Home did well. If a movie is good, people will go out to see it. I did hear that COVID spreads 10 times more rapidly during DC movies than any other movie. So, I mean, maybe if that's the argument you want to go with, but...
No, just during ones with the giant starfish. That's all I've got, man.
Which I now know is a slang term for butthole. So thank you, James Gunn. I really needed to know that. Thank you for advertising that.
Educating Batman.
But yeah, that's what was interesting about this to me, Josh. James Gunn didn't debunk this, and that to me is huge. I mean, as you said, we'll see. Yep. He might debunk this. Someone might be clipping me right now. One of the haters might be clipping me right now, being like, "Hey, James Gunn, look at this! Look at this! Can you debunk this guy?"
Well, like, here's the thing. Like, this guy is obviously, like, Sky has broken it down. Other channels have broken it down. I'll be honest, like, in my opinion, some of the, like, access media, I'm seeing a lot of people turn against James Gunn, even. Because just the way he's handled this whole, company now. And the way he's interacting with his fans and, people who are not fans. And so I think he is the reason for a lot of this divide. He is a reason for a lot of this confusion. I watched the Creature Commandos panel. It was very, the James Gunn show. It was very fast. It's all ego, right? And I think the access media can sense that with how James has put himself front and center. Kevin Feige is the front man for Marvel, right? And I think Gunn is trying to be that, but it's becoming off as just like at a detriment to the IP, a detriment to the fan base, right? And it's a PR disaster in my opinion. How this has all happened with the firing of Henry. Certain people have been saying now that was not a calm meeting. That was very, full of emotion from what I've heard. And I wonder why. Now we're getting a super L.
I mean, fans were a lot more excited for Henry Cavill being Superman again than they were for the James Gunn announcement. I'm just saying, the company should have, when Zaslav saw the backlash after Henry Cavill got fired, he should have stepped in and been like, okay, Gunn, look, we can't do this. Fans are upset right now.
I mean, this is how I kind of see things. I think a lot of the Henry's, having a kid right now. I know Margot Robbie just had congratulations on her first child. Like a lot of SnyderVerse, Gal Gadot has had multiple children. Like I feel like everyone's taking a break right now. They know they're like, all right now we're on hold, letting this all play out. And when it flops, flop after flop after flop after flop, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I just think I do have faith, Batman. Like the Ayer Cut will come out one day. It may not be tomorrow, may not be, next week, next month, next year, but we will see the Ayer Cut. And it's going to be epic.
Exactly, Josh. And I'll be honest, I'm in less of a hurry for the Ayer Cut than other projects. Because unlike these other projects, I'm not concerned about actors getting older with the Ayer Cut. That doesn't really matter with the Ayer Cut. Technically it could release 10 years later and it wouldn't matter because it's already filmed. I still want to see it sooner, but we just gotta. But yeah, Zack Snyder has adapted, so we'll see. But Josh, what really irritates me though is this Ayer Cut. First, the release of the Ayer Cut got restricted, and then turns out the Ayer Cut account got suspended, all because they were trying to be positive. And what really irritates me is that they moved a trending event. They pulled the David Ayer, moved a trending event to not conflict with James Gunn's Creature Commandos, not conflict with the James Gunn Suicide Squad-esque project. And still, we know that was James Gunn. Let's be honest here. That was entirely James Gunn who did this.
Yes, Qatar. Dr. Qatar. Tell him.
Absolutely. But I guess, Josh, what's your thoughts on this happening?
Yeah, I saw that. And it just shows you that, you turn the other cheek and they're going to slap that one too. I mean, moving these trending dates and I get it. I get trying to be positive team player and all this, but I'm sorry. If you look at everything, all things considered, the way that this has been handled has been entirely anti-fan, in my opinion. We broke it down. Fans of SnyderVerse, fans of the Batman, fans of the CW, fans of Superman and Lois are all being mistreated in some form or another. And what's the common denominator and what's happening in 2025? Why is everything stopping before then? It's totally obvious. So Dylan Walsh's comments make sense. Netflix seeing that, they're not doing anything with IP that is valuable and making offers shows, that there is a demand for fan base for other stuff than what you're trying to serve us. Right? That's why hashtag sell is a thing. That's why hashtag release the Ayer Cut. That's why hashtag make the Batfleck, make the Deathstroke even. There's all kinds of hashtags because the fans want the shit the studios aren't giving us. And it's only going to take tanking the company and stripping it for parts for them to finally get it.
Just said that it has to come to that. It shouldn't have to come to that. It's funny, Josh. You said something about how James Gunn wants to be Kevin Feige. Well, and look, I have issues with the MCU. I'm not going to lie. But one thing I will say about Kevin Feige, he listens to fans. He used Charlie Cox. He brought Charlie Cox back when fans were asking for it, even though it was made by non-MCU production. And he's putting the Netflix stuff in canon now.
Robin's a fan of the MCU too. But number one, fan-friendly movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best movie of highest grossing. Didn't it outgross Barbie at the domestic box office?
I think it did. I think it also became the highest rated R franchise, or maybe not R movie, maybe it was like R superhero movie or something like that. But
it beat Joker, yeah. So I know that by a lot.
Exactly, but they listened to the fans. They wanted Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. They gave it to us. They didn't give in to all this political stuff. In fact, they made fun of some of this political stuff. They listened to fans and they made money. And that's the thing. Kevin Feige listened to the fans. He let Ryan Reynolds do his thing. And that's what James Gunn is not doing. That's the one key thing he misses from Kevin Feige. Look at the Ayer Cut. They organized a trending event. They tried to get out of his way, not interfere with his stuff. And then this is what happens to them. They were being absolutely positive, and then they get suspended. Really? That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And it's just... Well, I mean, Sin Havoc, I heard that at one point, they weren't going to make it canon, and then they changed their mind. It was like, first it was canon, then it wasn't canon, then it was canon again.
What did you think of the Netflix Defenders verse, Dan?
I love Daredevil. That was great. Jessica Jones was great. Luke Cage, some hit and misses. Iron Fist, I'll be honest, I like it better than most people do, but I still didn't think it was that great. And Defenders was okay. But
Defenders
Daredevil
was disappointing in my opinion.
But like Daredevil and Punisher, those are like the two main things that I really love.
I loved all of it overall, I'll be honest with you. I think I might have loved I love the MCU, don't get me wrong, but I preferred at that time the Netflix Marvel stuff.
Oh yeah, same here.
And they premiered. It was a big deal. They had Jeff Loeb at Comic-Con in 2016, 2017. We get to watch the entire first 2 episodes of Punisher and the Defenders on one year in Hall H. Like, it was a big deal seeing Frank Castle come out on stage and the Defenders and Sigourney Weaver show up. So it only makes sense that if fans like me and you invested in those shows, and we're fans overall, right? Not everything was perfect, but I'll be honest, I loved all the casting of the Defenders. I loved every single show. I did think that Iron Fist got too much hate. I understand why, but I still loved, that dynamic. I thought Kristen Ritter was amazing. Jessica Jones was actually my personal favorite. I understand like Daredevil season 2 is like usually ranked the highest, but I
thought season 1 was.
Season 1. Did I say season 2?
Yeah.
I actually like season 2. That's my favorite actually, of Daredevil. But we are being listened to thanks to Kevin Feige, right? He knows Comic-Con turnout was a success. He knows the Netflix views was a success. And that's why they had to pay a lot of money to get those rights, reverted back and everything. And I think they're going to be better for it, right? I know people had an issue with She-Hulk, right? But it was amazing seeing Charlie Cox in that show, just like he was in No Way Home, right?
Yeah. So, and I'll agree with you on that too, is that I liked him. He was probably the best part of She-Hulk in my opinion. And you know what they do, Josh, listening to fans, when they made it more connected to the Netflix shows, they recast Vanessa to the original actress, who is our Laura L. also. But they recast. And the other actress, she filmed her scenes. She filmed all the scenes for like the first 9 episodes, I think, but a good amount. She had to get paid. So they paid an entirely new actress to connect it more to the MCU or to the Netflix shows. Mm-hmm. So they listen to fans, and that's what I'm saying. They don't ban their accounts. They don't restrict their words. They listen to what's going to make them money. That's why Kevin Feige is always going to be better than James Gunn. James Gunn is too much about his ego, when really the Ayer Cut should have already been released. Like this account shouldn't even really necessarily be when I say shouldn't be active, I mean in terms of like they shouldn't have to be active still. Their mission should have already been finished by now.
Yeah. But
now they're getting suspended because James Gunn doesn't want the Suicide Squad overshadowing his movie. And that's what's just so irritating about this, is that they try to be positive. And I'm saying, I think it was you, Josh, who suggested that we need to trend the day Creature Commandos appears. We need a trend for sell the day of Creature Commandos. You know what, James Gunn? We're not moving trending events for you, and we're not engaging with you. And that's what the big thing people need to understand. We engage with Netflix, not Warner Brothers Discovery. Yes, Warner Brothers Discovery will need to be involved because they have to approve this, absolutely. But we're not going to give them the engagement in the meantime. That's what people need to realize. And this kind of shit what happened here with the Ayer Cut account, who, again, had the best of intentions.
Yep.
But this is exactly why. This is exactly why. So
you get what you deserve.
And, you know, I hope Ayer Cut account, you come back and just, I recommend, if you're watching this, rethink your strategy a little bit. Just maybe think about who really are your friends and who are not your friends. Who are your allies and who are not your allies.
When
DC,
somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Exactly, Josh. And what to do going forward. Regardless of any rumors we heard, the mission is still the same. Fight for the Ayer Cut. For Josh and I, that sells the SHL to Netflix, sell SnyderVerse to Netflix, and release the Ayer Cut written out as a not hashtag. That's how we recommend you do it. Engage with Netflix. Show Netflix the demand.
Hashtag sale. Or
anything you want.
Release the Ayer Cut on Netflix. That would be a good. One day.
Well,
I think we had that before actually, so that might be a fun time to get back. We'll see.
Yeah, well, we did that one because, you know, someone decided to say, if you're not going to tweet release the Ayer Cut, we're unfollowing you. So that's why Sky came up with the alternate hashtag. Release the Ayer Cut.
Gonna gatekeep.
And, you know, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this pretty soon, but that's the kind of shit we don't need right now. Here's the thing. And, you know, and Josh, if I say anything that you don't agree with, speak up, but we don't care what hashtags you use. If you feel like release the Ayer Cut or make the Batfleck Movie is the best hashtag, restore the SnyderVerse, by all means, do it. We're not going to police you. We personally believe that sell is the best way to go. And, you know, and we ask if you're going to use the sell hashtags to follow the ROEs. Be positive. Don't engage with Warner Brothers. And do not mix the hashtags. That's what we ask you to do. But if you don't feel like that works for you, then fine. Tweet release the Ayer Cut. At the end of the day, we just want these movies out there. But
very true.
Exactly. But exactly, Sin Havoc. Sell is what matters. Because until it happens, we can't let our guard down. You know, we kind of thought we were in the clear when Henry Cavill announced he was back. We were like, oh, this is happening. This is definitely happening. And, oh yeah, Sin Havoc, don't worry. I think I know what you're talking about. Don't worry. We are going to get to that. If you're talking about certain drinkers criticizing people, we are going to talk about that. So, but yeah, no matter what you hear, guys, fight for the Ayer Cut, release the Ayer Cut. We recommend treating sell and with release the Ayer Cut written out. Oh. Yeah, well, again, if you don't... Well, you know what? You know, I'm really glad you brought that up with the Curly Ray. I'm really glad you brought that up because that is something we're going to talk about very soon. So, anything else you want to say on this topic before we move on to the other big trending event we had?
No, I mean, I support. Like, here's my thing. Like, you said it well, Batdan, but when you're like, if you're somebody in this fandom and you're criticizing hashtags, first of all, like what are you doing? What got us the chalice, the Holy Grail? What got us the Snyder Cut? Okay, a hashtag. So for anybody to insult a certain hashtag or say it's dumb or dismiss it because a passionate fan base wants it, that is just, you need to like look at yourself in the mirror, okay? Like everyone remembers we were all united for release. And of course we did Restore afterwards, where Restore has its, you know, it's still out there, but it had its time, you know. We were thinking outside the box here. And like Batdan said, we're just thinking of the most valuable option. If you think about it, release the Ayer Cut, that's just a singular thing. I also want to see Batflex. We talked about the Mishketi cut, you know. I want to see a lot of stuff. So go big, you know, and if they only want to give us the Ayer Cut, okay, cool. So don't, you know, think big picture, right, Batdan? So
exactly.
Hashtag sell makes sense for us. And if you want to tweet release. But do you, and never let somebody tell you that you don't matter, that you're not going to make a difference, that you don't need to be heard. You're a fan. You pay your hard-working money to support an IP. You get every right and every say. This is a democracy. We don't have gatekeepers. Just tell us what's good or bad.
This was not free. This was not free, mind you. I paid money for this.
Neither was this big box. I got a discount though for buying in bulk. But yes, very true. Tell them about Dan.
So, yeah, and honestly, you know, we don't really recommend that. I did use that hashtag. I did use that when Henry Cavill got fired. I did use that hashtag. But it's honestly better to put our energies into something that, like, selling to Netflix. I think that's much better.
Be positive.
Exactly. Be positive. I did tweet fire James Gunn before Cell came about because I was kind of going Ant-Man 3. I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. And that's what I was kind of thinking with James Gunn. But I mean, not that that trailer came out at the time. I don't think that trailer came out at the time. No, the trailer didn't come out at the time. But that's what I was thinking, basically. So, but, you know, I'm really glad you said what you said, Josh, because the Batfleck movie. Now, I'm going to be honest. You know, I've not always seen eye to eye with the Batfleck movie account. I've had my issues with certain things, but I will say I've loved how they handled this trending event because the big thing, Josh, they did is they did not, you know, they had their thing, Make the Batfleck Movie. That was a hashtag. They were tweeting to Warner Brothers, Artist Equity, MGM Studios, and Netflix. They liked the idea of incorporating, of Cell, but what I respect them for doing, Josh, is that because they're engaging with Warner Brothers, they didn't use our hashtags. They just used the Make the Batfleck Movie hashtag, and I think officially they said they could use one other hashtag, so if other people did Cell, I mean, can't do anything about that, but they themselves, they just promoted Make the Batfleck Movie.
Yep.
And I really had respect for them for doing that. But also, Josh, they actually supported people like us who were doing Make the Batfleck Movie as a word and then sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell SnyderVerse to Netflix, because I wanted to support the trending event still because I love the Batfleck movie.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some stuff about the Batfleck movie itself. That's gonna be a topic later on, but I really wanted to support this, but I'm like, I have to do it my way. So I wrote Make the Batfleck Movie, sell ZSJL to Netflix, sell SnyderVerse to Netflix, but let me just share my screen because I wanna share something. Is that what I like too is that they not only did they share just people using the hashtag, they also shared this too. Just people talking about the Ayer Cut. Mm-hmm. Or not the Ayer Cut, the Batfleck movie. So,
yep.
And that's so amazing. That was, and that's what I liked. I mean, honestly, Josh, what I really loved, one of my favorite parts about this campaign is that I felt we were really all united that day. Even though we were all using different hashtags, it didn't matter. We were all just campaigning for something we love. You know, we respected what the Batfleck movie account did. They respected what we were doing because we all realized we just wanted the same goal. We wanted that focus on the Batfleck movie. And I guess I want to pull something else up. What are your thoughts on just how that trending event went?
No, I know a lot of people have passionate opinions about the Batfleck movie. I've always had good interactions. They've shared some of my stuff. They've shared this stream. So shout out to them for sharing this stream on it. Yeah, I think the trending event was well handled from them. You know, we wanted to show our support, and we did. And posting just Batman, you know, and some people shouldn't say you have to use a hashtag. And I don't think people in Cell demand that, right? We just say it just makes the most sense, right? So we're going to be doing that. And Batfleck movie did, you know, a solid trending event. I saw it get, you know, it's Batman. It's always going to get talked about. It's Batfleck. It's the best version of Batman. But yeah, like Deathstroke, Batman, Arkham Origins, more than likely Deadshot, and probably the Joker, Batgirl, Gordon. Like, I need to see this movie. And I think we all do, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. And we're going to have a topic coming up about why this movie is particularly essential, but I just wanted to show Leon's little, I don't know if Leon himself designed this, but dope right here. And this is, you know, this is how the Cell people did it. Wrote it out. And then we got this dope artwork right here.
Deathstroke, the Terminator.
And then, actually, there's something else I'm going to pull up, so keep talking more.
But no, I think that it's interesting that Ben still has not, there's been articles written. I think Fortress of Solitude talked about, Ben Affleck revealing his script details about, finally getting to see it based on the campaign being successful. So this chatter is never going to die. There's a reason why Ben Affleck refused and spoke out very openly against James Gunn's direction, right? Ben knows what was going to happen. Henry knows what was going to happen. I'm sure Gal knows what was going to happen. Ezra probably knows what was going to happen. Momoa knows probably what was going to happen. Ray probably knows what's going to happen through all of other people in Zack Snyder. So I think that the writing is on the wall of what version of Batman people want and are invested in. There are people who like Robert Pattinson, but there are more people that want Ben. And this Brave and the Bold, I'm not convinced it's going to happen, especially when you get little clues like this perfect specimen.
Which, again, shout out to the Batfleck movie. They're tweeting a cell from Leon, our Batman of the Sun movement. They retweeted and they did that with me too. They retweeted me saying, make the Batfleck movie like this, sells ZSL to Netflix, sells SnyderVerse to Netflix. But I don't know if she was technically Ben Affleck's Catwoman or Zack Snyder's Catwoman, but she was supposed to be the Catwoman of the Snyderverse, of the Batfleck movie in ZSL 2 and 3. From my understanding, that is. And
Zach has talked about it. He said he was guessing, and now I'm sure Carla has heard about it, and so obviously she's down.
I mean, right? She just happened to dress as Catwoman on the day that we did a training event for the Batfleck movie. I'm really supposed to believe that's a coincidence.
Is that the same day?
Yeah, I think this was the same day.
Or is that an old picture?
Actually,
it looked new to me.
I thought this was new. I'm pretty sure this was new based on when this was. Hold on a second. Maybe I should probably double check that before.
Wow. Either way, we know she can pull it off. I think I follow her. Yeah. Yep. It's new.
Oh, it is new? Okay, I think
3 days ago.
Okay, 3 days ago. That was October
Meow
31st.
In honor of NYC Halloween Parade. Electrolux says meow.
And this is on Twitter?
That's on her Instagram.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just get this on. Let me just get this live so that there's no She's
the cat emoji in the movie and the photo emoji.
Okay, sorry people, should have been better prepared for this portion, but I just want to make sure that Yes and Havoc okay, so what's her Twitter handle right now? Wait, let me just switch to my.
Does she have a Twitter? I don't know if she has.
Or not, sorry, not Twitter.
Surname.
Instagram accounts. Like on.
Carla Gugino.
Oh, here we are.
I think she would have the dark hair, though, as Zach, for sure.
Yeah. She's probably not going to just change her whole.
I saw Batman, the Long Halloween Deluxe. There she is. Look at that.
Yeah.
The Long Halloween Deluxe. And I think Carla would be amazing. She kind of looks like the whole character design.
Let me just add this. But yeah, 2 days ago, it says for me, but this is new. This is her most recent post.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
So yeah, I'm just saying that's a pretty good sign too. Is that there's signs for this Batfleck movie happening, and we'll get into more of that later on. But now, Jay Oliva. And obviously we haven't always agreed with Jay Oliva because he did throw some shade at Cell. I think when it first came about, he didn't think it was likely to happen, but we can acknowledge.
Everybody wakes up on a bad day, right?
Exactly. And I think he's even kind of walked back on that a little bit too, honestly. But yeah, and sorry guys, I only know how to share stuff when I share the screen, so it's like I have to jump through all these different screens right now to share stuff. But it's so funny. People kept talking animation, animate the SnyderVerse, and Jay Oliva's like, nope, that's not happening. Mm-hmm. And, shout out for the Batfleck movie saying, hey, sorry for saying animation. We get it, guys. When you're fighting for so long, I understand at a certain point to have a moment of weakness, but they learned, and I have total respect for that. I have total respect for people to say sorry, because sometimes that's all you need to do. It's like, things are not a big deal unless you double down on them, like if you double down on them, oh, no, I was not wrong. You just make it worse. But let me just show this part again. Here we are. So someone's asking, would you guys be willing to do this as an animated movie? And then Batfleck movie, and then here they are saying, okay, did not mean to advertise that I mute certain accounts. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's very interesting. He's saying that they have to take a pay cut basically to do an animated, and they're not going to return to do something like this animated. So that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. So Jay Oliva just saying, guys, the people who talk animate the SnyderVerse.
SnyderVerse. I mean, doesn't make sense, right? If you're talking business.
Exactly. I mean, okay, Zod loves bringing up Infinity War, if they ended on Infinity War and then they said they're going to reboot. So I'll add to this. How would people feel if, okay, fine, guys, we're going to do Endgame, we're going to do Avengers Endgame. Obviously, the two were filmed back to back, but just pretend for a moment. But we're going to do Endgame, but it's going to be animated. It's going to be a cartoon. Would Marvel fans be okay with that?
I don't think so. Hypocrite.
And to me, I'm not going to lie. There's certain SnyderVerse stories I would love to see in animation, like New Gods. And actually, another one I thought of, too, was essentially kind of like the Clone Wars of the SnyderVerse. Zack Snyder's Justice League, the animated series, a series that takes place during the 10-year gap between 1 and 2. I think that'd be very cool to see animated, too. But the Batfleck movie, that's a main story. That one cannot be animated. That's live action or bust.
We were already promised that, right? So
yeah.
Make the Batfleck movie. You already promised us. You already told us. We had a whole panel at 2016 Hall H with the directors and all the movies they were going to make. Still waiting for that Rick Famuyiwa Flash movie and that Ben Affleck directed Batman. The Batman.
And don't worry, Ray. I know we're going to get to that. Don't worry. That's coming up.
Yes.
Exactly. Same here. I mean, again, we're going to ask for it all, take what they can give us, but the Batfleck movie, we'll kind of get into that later about why this one's so important. But the Batfleck movie, but yeah, animation is definitely not going to happen, guys. Animate the SnyderVerse is dead, guys. Okay, and I'm glad Jay Oliva clarified that. And Batfleck movie, I'm glad you brought that up. Because it ended this discussion again. Shout out to you guys again. You guys did a great trending event, and you got a lot of great stuff covered, including the Batfleck movie right here, including this Slay Oliva ending this. And it seems like he's walked back. So,
definitely.
And yep. Never compromise.
Not in the face of Armageddon.
And I kind of want to get into why this one's so essential. Because I know we all say, it's the main storyline, the 5-movie arc, 3 of them are made. We just want the last 2 back-to-back. But I really argue that the Batfleck movie is kind of as important as these 2 because it's the one project that's directly set up in Zack Snyder's Justice League outside of the Nightmare storyline. Because you got Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. Zack Snyder put a scene set up for that scene in his movie. He has Lex Luthor and Deathstroke. Lex Luthor telling him, if you want the Batman, here is something that can help you. His name is Bruce Wayne. we got to see that cliffhanger pay off. We can't just ignore that cliffhanger. I mean, yeah, they could cram that into ZSJL 2 and 3, but there's gonna be so much going on in there. We can't have that go unsaid. We can't have that not get paid off. I guess, Josh, what are your thoughts on this?
You're right. We were promised. We still have unresolved plot from ZSJL. And Batman, like, if you really think about it, we know that through the Justice League movies, we were going to get the ultimate Superman, right? By Justice League 3, he was going to be the classic Superman that we all knew and loved, right? And he was getting there through his arc in JL2 by having the black suit and then needing to reconnect to the humanity through Lois, right? There was a plan laid out. And that also extended to Batman, right? The sacrifice of the Superman, the alien that he saw as otherworldly, turned out to be more human than him as the Batman, right? So Superman and ZSJL helped Bruce find his humanity. But then when you're confronted by the Terminator, by Deathstroke, the ultimate, right? In this universe, if you don't know your comics lore, Deathstroke and Batman, two of the top fighters hand to hand in the universe, right? Along with others like Cassandra Cain and Lady Shiva. But that battle was going to be the ultimate like test for Bruce. And so to see that through his own solo movie would help inform how we see him in Justice League 2, right? When Superman's once again wrestling with reconnecting with humanity, and Bruce is kind of like going through a ultimate, break. And I do think in the Batfleck movie that it would be tied back to BVS Batman. I've always said those red notes, little red notes, you let your family die. I don't think that information came, I think Bruce Wayne's information was told by Joker at one point to Lex, or Lex found out somehow. Because if you think about Studio Squad, if you look at the extended cut, Jared Leto's Joker says, you erased my mind, what little memory I had. He knew Bruce was Batman, in my opinion. Harley Quinn scrubbed his mind, and that's why he was so mad.
Oh.
So I do think that Joker would be involved somehow, maybe like not like front and center, but maybe indirectly. I do think probably Deadshot, Will Smith might have had a cameo to tie it back to Arkham Origins. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but we know Batgirl was going to be involved, right? We
Gosh.
know. So, yeah, I mean, that's what Sin Havoc has told me in the past about my theory. And we know where Batfleck's arc is. He's at the end of his career, right? So after JL3, that was going to be it for his character. So we need to have the ultimate Batfleck movie, right?
Yes.
The ultimate showdown before he ends up giving the ultimate sacrifice for the DC universe. So yeah.
And it's
the perfect Batman and my Batman, obviously.
And that's why, I'll be honest, in a perfect world, at this point, we would get this movie before ZSJL 2 and 3. Obviously, with Cell, we can't really be too picky on stuff. I do know that, but we can still have hopes. And okay, interesting. So I'm curious, Sin Havoc, was Joker going to be in the Batfleck movie in the present day, or was he strictly going to be in flashbacks? And what up, Zod Writer?
What's up, Zod? Good to see you, buddy.
To be fair, pretty much everyone's dead by the Nightmare timeline, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that would make sense. It would suck, but I do kind of feel like you have to hurt Bruce somehow, right? And so maybe it could have been Babs. It might have been Babs, but I just kind of felt like it would make sense for Alfred, right?
Plus, it's supposed to be at the end of his days, too. So Alfred has to go at some point. So if you're going to kill off Batman in ZSJL 3, it makes sense to kill off Alfred in this movie. And
Joe had talked about how
he
blamed Batman for his death, the death of his son. So in Deathstroke's mind, look, it's an eye for an eye, like Lex said.
Why he was doing it for free? Why he said it's personal? So, and it's it's really funny because like Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck basically had the exact same type of arc, a 5-movie arc, a solo film, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and the Justice League trilogy. The main difference is that Henry Cavill wanted to do more, and this is from my perspective, from what I'm noticing. Henry Cavill wanted to do more, but Ben Affleck was content with just doing that little arc. I mean, maybe he would have done more, but I'll be honest with you, Josh. I don't care for Ben Affleck to get a trilogy, honestly. I know a lot of Batfleck fans would hate me for this, saying like, well, Batman doesn't want a trilogy. I mean, I'm not complaining. If we get a Batfleck trilogy, guys, I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying I'm perfectly content with just getting the one solo movie and ZSJL 2 and 3 and nothing else for Ben Affleck. I mean, I would want him to see Dark Knight Returns too, but like as well, when I say 2. I would certainly want to see that, but in terms of me, I'm really content with just those 3 film projects, or like non-film projects, okay? I'm not counting the Ayer Cut, that's already filmed. But yeah, I'm fine with just getting the one movie.
Same.
Oh, interesting.
Head of the Demon.
Because we have so many Batman that this is like a perfect way to put Batman in a Justice League story without oversaturating Batman. That's why like his like 5-movie arc that he was going to get was so perfect.
Yeah. And I don't think Ben wanted to do a trilogy, right? Let's be perfectly honest. The Batfleck movie wasn't planned at first. It was only because of the epicness of Ben Affleck's portrayal as Bruce Wayne and the Batman in BVS. And then it got added after they saw what they had in front of them was gold, the best Batman, in our opinion. So yeah, I mean, I think that Ben was going to give it all in his one script, and that's why it's so talked about in Hollywood still. The people who have read it, it's renowned, and it's one of the greatest. I think it's going to go up there, Batman, as right now it's at the top of some of the greatest unmade scripts in Hollywood history, in my opinion, from what I understand. So who knows? You can't sit on that potential gold mine forever. I think Ben is going to be very free here in the near future, all things considered. So, he's friends with Zach, and we'll see. If he doesn't want to do it, he doesn't want to do it. But, priority in that case should be CSJL 2 and 3, in my opinion. And maybe somehow we can get it out of him, but eventually in another form. But yeah, I definitely don't want to see it unless it's Ben Affleck, and I don't think it's going to happen unless it's Ben Affleck. So whatever Ben wants, I'm down for. But ZSJL 2 and 3 would be amazing too.
God, Cinehouse! Oh my god! That would have been so
like Pattinson. That's what I heard.
I'll be honest. I thought that Pattinson was going to be young Ben Affleck when they first casted him until certain things were being said, and then obviously when the Gordon was cast, it was kind of obvious for certain reasons they couldn't be in the same continuity. But
Robert Pattinson's already aging out, and as long as the Batman 2 is having stalled.
And actually, the Curly Ray, I'm glad you said what you said, because the Batfleck movie, can this still happen? Can we still get the Batfleck movie? Because the Curly Ray brings us up. We were talking about this earlier. Ben Affleck's already working with Netflix. He's already working with Netflix right now.
Talked about it with Sasha Calle. Yep. They're all over there. I think Matt Damon would make amazing Two-Face, or also Tommy Elliott. Hush.
And what was at one point Sin Havoc? That's the problem. You don't pull up these comments right away, and then it's like, wait, what are you referring to? I do that all the time. I'll make a comment, and then they'll pull up my comment.
He's talking about the Robert Pattinson being younger.
Oh, okay. If that's what you're saying, Sin Havoc, let us know. But Josh, I think this was you. Correct me if I'm wrong. In full circle, you were asking Zach a question, and Ben Affleck went out of his way to answer Sky's question.
It wasn't me. Somebody had asked Ben about he talked about Deadshot. He's like, oh yeah, Deadshot. So he incorrectly was talking about Deathstroke, but said Deadshot. And that person responded to Sky. I asked something about the Batfleck script, but yeah, you're right. He went out of his way.
I mean, if that happens for whatever stuff, great. But I don't like to necessarily campaign for downfalls to happen. I mean, if it happens, then it happens. But
I've heard that. I've heard that once or twice.
I have too. But try to not get too controversial in these streams. I've already defended Ezra Miller as it is, so we both have. Oh, that's. I guess in Havoc though, your opinion. I'm curious in Havoc. Just for ZSJL 2 and 3, or do you think potentially for the Batfleck movie too? That's what I'm really curious about. But
I think he deep down wants to do it. Like how long it takes to actually get done, I think would be the determining factor. If he is like, at one point, they will probably be like, that's behind me. I don't think we're at that point yet. Because people love him, and an actor loves to get, praise, right? I mean, look at what's happening in Hollywood right now. There's no new original ideas because studios want,
go on.
Studios want well-known baked-in IPs right now to cash in. That's what they're doing. They're doing all the remakes and all these reboots and all the pre-existing fan base. That's what Disney did, right? What you said. All those Fox movies, love them or hate them. We talked about the X-Men movies on your stream, Bat Dan. That brought people because of Hugh Jackman, and that is one of the biggest R-rated movies of all time. So
exactly.
You got to do it. If it's Batman, it's #1 property. It's got Ben. I think it's the no-brainer. #so.
And plus, Josh, so you were saying you were the one who asked him about the Batfleck script, and that's when he didn't answer you, correct?
I was basically asking him to reveal everything that's going to happen, including Batgirl, and tell me about the villains. And he was like, I'm going to talk around this question, so I think of what to say. But that's all I can give you for right now. Basically didn't want to reveal anything that I asked him. So I think that's because he wants to see it happen one day. That's my personal opinion.
I mean, if you're not...
But I think so. Faith out there. Faith.
Exactly, Josh. Exactly. I mean, why not just reveal it if you're going to do it? I mean, that's... And plus, unlike... Like, here's the thing. People... there's a concern about, but Gunn canceled SupermanAndLois because of conflicting with his Superman. What's going to stop this from happening? Well, two things. One, budget. Is that because if Netflix buys the rights to this, Gunn can't use budget, but also money. Again, go over Gunn's head, make Zaslav an offer where he only makes money, doesn't spend money. Plus, this is a lower budget project. Especially if, let's say, Zach's tied up on a UFC and Rebel Moon 3 and they want to do something with DC and the SnyderVerse now, they can be like, hey, Ben, do you want to do that Batfleck movie? Let's get the deals. Let's get the licensing rights to get this done. And I feel like Batman's such a popular IP that you can kind of get away with more iterations of Batman than you can with Superman. And interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying the Batfleck movie would follow that ZSJL IP likely.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, Josh, any final thoughts on this?
I think it can happen. I think it does need to happen sooner rather than later. So I think in uniting to one common sense cause, if you, like you say, ask for the big picture, and then, hey, maybe that will put things in priority. Okay, well, this actor wants to get, good things going quicker because they have plans and family, get their solo movie, and then get the other cast rounded up for the big enchilada, ZSJO 2 and 3. So #so makes the most sense, in my opinion. You can hashtag whatever you want. Shout out to Batfleck Movie, friends of the channel, I would say now, since they keep on sharing this stuff. But we just are doing our thing. They're doing their thing, and we can support each other in that sense, that we're all rooting for Batfleck. So hashtag whatever.
So basically, Sin Havoc, you're saying like once ZSJL is on Netflix, at least in America, I should say, since it is in Netflix internationally right now. So, or I'm sorry, the United States of America. Some people get very mad if you say America because technically that's 2 continents. So, but yeah. So is that what you're saying, Sin Havoc? But again, Josh, very well said. Very well said. This is why I love having you on the channel. You bring such great insights. And I'm going to be honest, too. Like, in terms of non-film projects, if I could only get one non-film project outside of ZSJL 2 and 3, it would be the Batfleck movie. Because I think that's the one project needed to perfectly complete the story. And, okay, thank you for confirming, Sin Havoc. But that's what you need to complete the story because of that one scene in ZSJL. And just that script is kick-ass. Plus, Henry Cavill got a solo movie. He already got his solo movie. I would still want to see the second one, but it's less of, I'd rather each get one than one get 2 and one get none. Put it like that. So, I don't know. I hope not. But, this is, at the end of the day, this is a positive trending event. I think this whole thing, this Halloween day was a positive trending event. Shout out to the Batfleck movie, which is why this kind of pisses me off. And, I'll be honest, Josh, I normally don't like talking about this stuff on this channel. I try to keep my channel a positive place to talk about geek shit that we all love. But first, but this is what bothers me. If you don't think Cell's going to happen, fine, shut up. Like, why do you need to egg on and hate on something that you just don't care about? If you don't care about it, you don't care about it. Okay, move on then. But we're going to fight for something we love because we want to see the story that we love concluded. And to go after people, pull up their tweets and openly mock them, if you kind of do shit like that, you're a shitty person. There's no need to do that. Respect me, I will respect you. Don't respect me, I won't respect you. And if you go after my friends, I will stand up for them. So, Josh, what are your thoughts?
I like what Sin Havoc has to say. Option 3 is always a valid option. And that's actually the option that I usually take when I hear people speak their minds with things that I don't disagree with. Because you know why, Bat Dan? This is America. This is the land of the free. There's a movie that was controversial called Megalopolis that came out. I actually loved that movie. There's a quote from that movie by Adam Driver, Kylo Ren himself. It says, when everyone gets to be heard, that's a democracy, right? That's a utopia. That's a utopia is actually the word he uses. And we have that. We are living in a utopia. And I know that frustrates a lot of people, right? That anybody has access to one of these and can speak their mind. But that is why we fight for our freedoms. That is why we live in this country, right? And for a person who says they're a fan to make fun of hashtags that other fans make, like I said earlier, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't get it. Hashtag, I don't get it. You're making fun of hashtags, a hashtag is what brought us all together and has kept us all together. Yes, we are very siloed now. I will admit that. Because we need focus and we need to unite. Like Stefan was said, 2 divided to be 1. And that's what we need to be, right? And I understand that people want clout, and I understand people don't want certain things to happen because they weren't the ones to make it. But I think those people are holding us back, and they think that they, can speak for everybody and everyone should think like them. I'm sorry, you're not a good representation of the fandom if you think like that and you cast judgment. I think that, people are human, and I understand if people want to support James Gunn's endeavors or give it a chance. I have given that man's work a chance with his Marvel stuff, and I honestly bet, Dan, gave him a chance with the Suicide Squad, and I convinced myself back then, okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We got, Flag in there. We got Boomerang. We got Margot Robbie. I will admit, I did like Harley Quinn's costume. It was very comic, accurate-esque, right? I thought Ayers was iconic and the better look overall, but I loved that they gave Harley a Arkham City-esque color design jumpsuit. And I have that costume actually. But that is like the only thing that I appreciate about that movie. I hated that movie back then. Hated it. Haven't watched it a second time, just like the Batman. I gave the Batman another chance after you told me about. I think we talked, or you did a stream about Ping One episode 5. So I watched the Batman movie. It took me 3 nights to finish it, but I would have rather struggled through 3 nights of sleep aid actually, and not insomnia. I fell asleep watching that movie multiple times. I was so bored by it. But I would rather do that than give the Suicide Squad another watch. Even though that's DCEU, and even though I can appreciate some Harley Quinn things in that, I just hated them. So I'm kind of done with him. And if you want to give him a chance, that's fine. But the dude showed me, right? Like I said earlier, when people show you who they are, believe them. My family watched the Suicide Squad movie after loving the Suicide Squad. I mean, the actual Suicide Squad 2016. And they were like, this is twisted. Who directed this movie? This is obviously not the same director. He's got problems. They could tell that. My mother could tell that by watching the Suicide Squad. So yeah, I think that the entire DCU is going to be a disaster, but I don't understand why you're trying to hold back the SnyderVerse continuing to push the DCEU forward, right, Batman? Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all.
Exactly, especially with we're not even asking for James Gunn's universe to fail. We're asking for our story to continue as an Elseworld and get properly finished, properly concluded. And you know what's funny with this guy? It's like he just assumed that danger, like he was talking in generally, and this guy took it upon himself to assume that you're talking about him specifically. If you really thought that, then it probably says more about you. Maybe it says that he was on to something. But Josh, we actually have someone joining us right now, and this guy, he's the reason why we're here. He's the reason why we got a new hope for DC again. He wanted to come on and say something, so please welcome as I bring on Skywalker the Jedi. How are you, man?
Yo, what's going on, people? How y'all feeling today?
We're feeling pumped. Despite this particular topic, we had a great trending on Halloween Day for Make the Batfleck Movie. We had Make the Batfleck Movie trending, but we got the Cell trending too, and together we brought awareness for the Batfleck Movie, so I'm pumped right now. Despite this piece of shit and other pieces of shit right now throwing shade at stuff.
Hey, I literally just got out of work. I just started watching you guys, so I have no idea what the fuck y'all are talking about. But I will say this. Anybody trying to downplay, trying to discredit, trying to be disingenuous, disrespectful, right? We ain't gonna pay no mind to them back then, because we gonna get the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? We represent the people, and that's why I'm here today. I would like to, and you know what's funny is I haven't even really ran this by everybody involved yet, but I don't give a shit. I'm about to come on here and I'm about to give Bat Dan the exclusive. You dig? Because y'all on here talking about the Ayer Cut. Look, us over here at ZSSM, we see everything, right? We see when you guys get upset by all these other campaigns and stuff, like twerking and doing whatever they got to do and trying to appease James Gunn and trying to appease everybody, right? And we know what happens when you try to make everybody happy. You end up making nobody happy. And so with that being the case, we decide that we gonna go ahead and we gonna make our community and we gonna make our fan base happy, right? So I saw the level of like, disillusion and all that when everybody saw how they pushed that trending date back. But I got something to say. VSSM got y'all. We will be fucking trending. Release the Ayer Cut on Netflix on December 5th. Fuck that.
Boom.
Ain't no getting down. Ain't no fucking running and hiding. We ain't doing that. You understand me?
Bombs away.
Ain't gonna be no trying to fucking yank the carpet or yank the rug from up underneath the fandom to appease the motherfucker that got rid of Henry Cavill.
Talk to him. Talk to him. Sky. The Superman.
Love it.
What are we? Like, what has happened? Where did everybody's balls go? Is this how Zack Snyder got the goddamn Snyder Cut?
Yep.
By bending the knee?
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah. December 5th, release the Ayer Cut on Netflix. And we gonna show them. And we gonna out-trend fucking whatever that damn abomination of a cartoon is. That is the goal. That is the goal. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
They dropped they dropped the ball. We picking it up. Yeah. So I just wanted to come drop that little bomb on Bat Dan's thoughts.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
December 5th, Sky.
Thank you, Sky. Thank you. And I'll make sure, you know what? I'm definitely going to clip this segment of the stream.
Hey, go ahead and clip it, homie. Clip it, save it, share it, send it out. Let the world know, Bat Dan. We will not bend the knee.
Hey, yes,
no, we will not. Release the Ayer Cut. You heard it here first, guys. On Bat Dan's Thoughts, the channel, Bat Dan's Discussions, the show. Release the Ayer Cut on Netflix.
December 5th. Be there or be square. Hey. Y'all have a wonderful stream. You know what I mean? I'm about to get on out of here. I just want to come drop that bomb on Bat Dan. Right?
Thank you, Sky. I really appreciate it.
Much love, y'all. Hey, and I appreciate you letting me on. For sure. You gentlemen have a wonderful stream, and I'm going to get back at y'all next time.
Sounds good. Thank you again, Sky.
Peace, Superman.
No problem. Peace. Bang, motherfuckers.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Sky. Thank you for dropping that on me. That's really great. I always love it when Sky comes on.
Sky coming through like Superman. Dun,
and you know, it's a good thing I actually had that instinct to check my DM when I saw Sky in the chat. Because sometimes, you know, people will message me while I'm streaming and I won't catch it because, you know, I'm doing a stream. But I don't know. It's like I had an instinct. You know what? Sky's putting those eyes. Let's just check just to see. And boom, I was right. So release the Ayer Cut on Netflix. And you know what? And
it's almost like somebody said that earlier in the stream, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, you were saying that. Well, at least we were going to trend on this. Although someone might have said release Ayer Cut on Netflix too, actually. Okay, yeah. So
there's a relationship between Superman and Robin in the comics, if you know. So if you know, you know.
Fair enough. Okay. Yep, that I do know. But you know, kind of like an uncle-nephew type relationship, I'd say, since Batman and Superman are like brothers. Not biologically.
If you know where Nightwing came from, it's actually from Superman in Krypton.
What do you mean?
You know that? Nightwing, Superman gave Dick Grayson the Nightwing name.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, shit.
Yeah. And there was also a character named Flamebird who went on to be a Titan. Do your research, Bat Dan comics. They're awesome. But yeah, shout out to Superman for dropping that bomb. Super Sky.
And exactly. We don't need any goddamn cartoons, Odd. But yeah, and you know, and that's the thing. We're just doing our thing positive, and we don't need, and that's what I'm just gonna say, guys. If you don't want it to continue, That's great. Here's an example, Josh. I hate Legends of Tomorrow. That show became abysmal. But I never once shit on the campaign to save Legends of Tomorrow. You know what I did? I didn't comment on it. The only time I ever comment on the campaign at all is when I bring up this example. That's the only time I comment on it. Because, hey, if there's fans of the show, who am I to say you shouldn't get more? I can make a choice not to watch something. What's stopping me from... it's not hurting me that show continues. I can just not watch it. But
the only reason I suffered through that show, Dan, was because they brought Matt Ryan back as Constantine, who I loved, and then they bastardized that character. But yes, there are fans of that show. I have to admit that. A lot of my Comic-Con friends, unfortunately, those people didn't know the comics, so they were just down for the stupid zaniness of the show. But I thought season 1 was great, and that's the people who like to complain about it. So, yeah, we're not fans of that. We're not fans of that, but there are people that were, and like you said, Dan, you got to give the people what. Like Sky said, give the people what you want.
And I agree, Qatar. The first 2 seasons were great, and
the more comic book versions were the best versions, not the stupid stuff.
I stopped watching after season 5. At first, I was watching because I had this OCD. It's I watched one show of the Arrowverse. I have to watch them all. But eventually, I just kind of gave up because I'm just you know what? I'm not enjoying this. I've actually kind of just stopped watching the whole Arrowverse altogether, honestly, because it's just But, hey, there's some fans of it, and I can't complain. I can, again, I did when
every single show about Dan, and it was horrible.
Yeah, I'll say this. With Greg Berlanti, my big thing with him is when he does too much, that's when the quality dips. If he's just doing one show, I think he does a good job. But when he tries to do multiple stuff, that's when it turns to shit. Agreed.
I got to retract my last statement because I never finished Gotham Knights, now that I think about it. So,
well, that technically wasn't Arrow.
Technically, yeah, that wasn't part of the Arrowverse. But it was CW, so I guess, yeah, kind of.
Oh, God, that killed Arrow for me.
The bastardization of Black Canary, I will never forget on that.
Which Smallville, they took that exact same trope from Smallville, where Green Arrow ends up with a blonde IT girl instead of Black Canary.
Thank you, Batman. That's what pissed me off about Arrow. You're doing the same thing you just did. I accepted it with Chloe Sullivan, even though the actress is problematic. But I loved the Chloe Sullivan character. I cannot lie. But I didn't want her to be with Oliver freaking Queen. And shout out to Justin Hartley, who, in my opinion, was way more comic accurate than Stephen Amell, even though I love Stephen Amell.
He pissed me off, though.
Yeah.
Remember when James Gunn made that? He responded to James Gunn's comment about Green Arrow. Stephen, I don't know if you know what Stephen Amell said, but I'll recap it for those of you who don't know. He said that when people think about DC, they don't think about the Snyder Cut. They think about the Arrowverse. And I'm like,
no,
why? Why are you even bringing up the Snyder Cut right now and throwing shade at it to prop up your own stuff? I don't respect that shit to say, hey, we're better than this thing. That's called being cocky, dude.
Hey, Stephen, I love the person, Stephen Amell, but sometimes when you live in a bubble.
I actually kind of got into an argument with him when I was in college once. He kind of went after someone on YouTube, and I didn't really like that. And I was like, I'll admit this because I was in college. Okay, this is college Bat-Dan. This is not the mature Bat-Dan in his 30s. But I may have had a little bit to drink that night, and I may have posted something on his Facebook saying how I lost respect for him from going after someone. And he responded to me. So, and he doubled down, and he couldn't just say, hey, sorry, I fucked up. But looking back on it, though, it's kind of bringing them back full circle. Going after people is never a good idea. Calling them, especially when you're a big celebrity, calling a random YouTuber out just makes you look like an asshole, dude. And that's what I'm saying. If you're a YouTube channel with a bigger following, going after someone for talking sell, and then it should. Here's the thing. I don't care if you've had Zack Snyder on your show. I don't care. It's about respect. And if you do not respect us, we will not respect you. That's just what it is. So leave us alone. We'll leave you alone. Simple as that. Danger, you're a great guy. All you did was fight for the SnyderVerse like the rest of us. Do not let any drunk junkie get to you. Don't ever do that. And, again, I don't like doing this, Josh. I hate doing stuff like this where I call, go after, because that's just not what I like to do on my channel. But it's different when you go after friends. That's where I draw the line. If you go off, I do stand up for my friends.
Yeah, I agree. And you're a great friend, Brad Dan. You do go out of your way. And yeah, Hayden is a Danger is a friend of Sal, supporter. He was with us at the Rebel Moon directors. I met Hayden at Full Circle Day 3. He was there all weekend, but we didn't actually connect until Day 3 of ZSJO at the IMAX. But he is a fan. He supports AFSP, a real SnyderVerse fan, right? Like, he knows the importance of that campaign to this community and has done several campaigns specifically for the Batfleck version of the character. But he made the Batfleck Runs on Dunkin' campaign, which was amazing. But it got so popular that Dunkin' Donuts actually sent him a cease and desist because of how epic his campaign was. And,
really, Duncan?
Yeah.
It's just penny.
But
a charity.
I got to order a few shirts, so I have some. And he's an awesome guy, just true fan of Ben Affleck in that version of the character. He's also just happens to be, Robert Pattinson too, the Batman. So, but we talked, and homie is telling me that he's got a lot of people on his side, coming out and revealing that certain gatekeepers in the community are, everyone's kind of feeling the same way. And the Batfleck Movie account kind of responded to him in tweets, and some other prominent content creators are kind of backing Hayden and really speaking out about the stuff that they've been feeling for so long in this fandom. If you're pointing the fingers and spotlighting fans and being that petty, you got to look in the mirror, dude. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All I see is that is just attention seeking. He's kind of asking for confrontation, and that's all about subscribers and engagement. So to be perfectly honest, like, that dude, like, do your own thing. We're doing our thing, right? That's all I kind of have to say about that. But then now that this happened with Hayden Danger, I've encouraged him. I'm like, hey, keep using your voice. Anyone in this community, there are things in this community and certain, movies and stuff that we disagree on as in the community as fans of SnyderVerse, right? But that doesn't mean we're not friends. We agree to disagree on things, right? And our voices are heard. At least we express our opinions about things. And for somebody to kind of, with a prominent following that everyone kind of looks up to in the fandom, to cast judgment on fan campaigns or certain fans' opinions and take it to a point where they're like, oh, you're talking about me. Even though you didn't say my name, you're talking about me. That's ego. I mean, I'm sorry. If you're taking everything and it's about you and you weren't named or anything, you're kind of spilling a guilty conscience. So look in the mirror, just kind of take it back. Are you just all on this for the engagement and the views? Because that's what it kind of seems like. And it's very obvious to people now. So please stop doing that. Focus on the articles in the Hollywood, pop culture space. And we're going to be doing our thing, especially on December 5th. Because shout out to Skywalker the Jedi, dropping that bomb.
And speaking of Sky, he's back.
Hey.
Hold up. Speak his name and he shall appear. Listen. I'm sorry, because I was just actually about to cut the stream off. I was for listening to you guys. And then I heard Josh say that somebody went at Danger. Bro, what is going on right now? Like, somebody went at Danger? That's the homie.
That's the Batman, the goddamn Batman.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, you want to say Batman?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically, a certain drunk junkie went after Danger because Danger was speaking generally about people who claim to support Zack Snyder but don't participate in the events, and then a certain drunk junkie made the assumption that he was talking about him specifically, and then
Bruh, Danger will beat the shit out of that dude, bro. Hey, just being for real. Look, man, Why he be talking on the internet? Yo, this internet is a crazy place, yo. People just come on here and just talk out the side of their neck at people that they would never speak about that way in front of him. He would never say that to that man's face. He would never.
But Sky, the best part is that because he was spotted with you and the homies in #Cell who were problematic during the director's cuts, you know, of course, there were shots at Cell, and you know, and then
oh my god, bro,
a certain Jedi who doesn't even talk about Star Wars on his channel. So
right? Oh wait, is that what was said?
I wonder why. He don't talk about Star Wars.
Yeah. Hey, it's well known why I don't talk about Star Wars, bro.
It's not like
but
you say
anyway,
it openly.
yeah, I have said it many times. But what is so hilarious to me is that, bro, he would never say, "Look, Josh, you've seen both of them in person. You know he wouldn't say that to that dude, bro."
I mean, if you don't know, like when we're making the joke about Hayden being Robert Pattinson, like Leon,
he's built like fucking Batman, bro.
Leon said he's a Batman who actually works out, right? Like, he's a power lifter, dude. Like he works in a gym. Like, don't want no smoke from Hayden.
It's like, why would you do these things, bro? Like, why would you get on this internet and say these things and you know you got to run into people? Like, bro, see, y'all ever hear that term, a hit dog will holler? Like, let's say it's a group of like 10 dogs that are just running around. They're all like just running next to one another. And I throw a rock, right, at these dogs. The one that's going to make the sound is the one that I end up hitting. So he obviously felt some type of way because he didn't go to these fucking events. He wasn't at Twilight of the Gods. He wasn't at ZSJL Day. He wasn't at Watchmen Day. He wasn't at 300 Day. He wasn't at none of this shit. He came when the clout came. And then even then you heard it out of his own mouth. Yeah, you know, those guys, they don't really like me. So, you know, I didn't even go over there because they were just surrounding Zach, right? Man, Zach was surrounded by fans.
Preach.
Absolutely.
Preach.
It felt like a friends and family event. And after we talked to Zach, we walked off.
You didn't corner him? I thought you cornered him, though.
Bro, I cornered him. I snatched mics.
Yeah.
Everything we do is problematic. Y'all don't notice this bullshit? That everything we seem to do just happens to be problematic?
Mm-hmm.
I got asked a question. That became problematic.
And still peddling the fact that you stole the question when there's video proof out there of close-ups, official footage on Vero True Social's YouTube accounts. Everyone can go to that and see. Zoom in. The moderator is Ray Porter. Okay? Right next to him, Zack Snyder. Right next to him, Ray Fisher, Ben Affleck. Oh, the one with the Kryptonian. What's Black Superman? Oh, Black Super. Oh,
right?
I didn't see no other Black Superman, Sky, other than you at Full Circle.
Crazy. They said I stole the mic when there wasn't even a mic, Josh.
There was no mic.
Yeah.
You and I had to shout our questions. There's video of it because there was no mic.
This is crazy. Oh, yeah, Scott stole the mic.
Yep, the invisible mic has been havoc set.
And that's honestly like that incident, Sky, is where I think a lot of people saw, honestly, I don't know if you realize, but just kind of why did it have to turn so negative after an amazing event, right? Why was the first like little tidbits or news is oh, these Cell guys, they stole what? We're celebrating over here. Like that's why you as Superman standing your ground had all of us kind of come out into the light because of you having the balls to ask the question that no one else wanted to ask. And you did it as Black Superman, Black suited Superman, Henry Cavill, Zack Snyder.
Dude, this whole thing, bro, has been so Like, it's been a farce. Like, if you have been to these events or have like interacted with us in person or like just have common sense, bro, you would understand and see what is going on here. Every single thing that we do seems to be a problem. They said that we infiltrated a charity event, like Sin Havoc always brings up, right? And all we did was get tickets like everybody else, right? On Friday is the first day. If you remember, they said we cornered Zack Snyder then. That's where that whole bullshit started from. And all we did was stand in line like everybody else, right? And I had already talked to Zack, and Zack walked up to me, bro. That's a fact, homie.
So Zack cornered you then, basically.
Bro, Zack walked right over. Dude, it almost seemed like too good to be true. I tripped out. I was standing at the bar waiting to get a drink. Zack walked over to my side, talked to his homies, who was to my immediate like left, kind of, and then he turned and walked directly towards me, bro. After talking to them, I was like, "Yo, is this really happening right now?" Like, I tripped out.
Hashtag Zack cornered Sky.
Right, so I had already had a conversation with him, and then all we did was stand in line like everybody else, and then we talked to him, and they said that we cornered him in. Then he signed my poster. Oh, but it don't really mean nothing, though. Oh, but Zack would have wrote anything, right? Oh my, then I asked the question on Sunday. Oh, but Sky stole the question, and oh my God, like, why are they cornered? They won't let Zack talk about anything else. Like, all they do is talk about Zack and DC and oh my blah 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 blah. Man, shut the hell up, bro. Who believes you?
No one. Even the people who claim to believe him don't believe him. They're telling themselves that.
The tides are turning, Sky. I think the tide.
Bruh,
this
I am convinced that man's following is entirely inflated. I went. He was doing that damn animated watch along. It was 5 people in there, bro. We average more people than that for cartoons and cereal. I got a fraction of your subscribers, bruh. A fraction. And I sat there and I watched. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited for that number to jump over 5. And it never did.
Interesting.
Just
fraud.
Not real. and
you dare talk to the homie Danger, who will put hands on you, bro? like, yo, what is going, 2024 has been so weird, bro. Like, everything's backwards.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's like the Bizarro world.
Man, what does I just say? He bought his numbers? I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Fraud.
It's all, hey, Cat Williams said, right? A long time ago.
And homie, I saw homie in the bathroom. I wanted him to do something. I turned my back to you. That's how worried I was, bro.
Hey.
I turned my back. You're a fraud.
But got to go in on Danger because apparently, since he was part of, the hashtag sale guys and was seen with, Superman in his pajamas, he's problematic too. So we got to go at these fans of Cell.
Yo, he saw us in that picture looking clean, looking united. You know what I'm saying? Big smile, swagged out. You know what I mean? And he was over there hating like, see, but they were surrounding Zack, and I just, I didn't even want to go over there. I mean, I have Zack's number, but I'm mad that fans are talking to him, even though I can just text him and call him whenever I want to. Right?
I was just going to say, Sky, if you really just have someone's number, you just call and text them whenever you want to, you probably have a problem of being too clingy if that's really the case. I mean, I have plenty of people's numbers, but that doesn't mean I can just call or text them whenever I want.
Bruh, he got Zach number on WhatsApp. He got Zach WhatsApp number.
Okay,
No
so not
fucking
even
personal, no personal fucking cell phone, bro. You think he would give Junkie his phone number?
Nope.
A weirdo.
Superman with the red eyes coming in.
That hair gel Junkie. Fucking weirdo, bro. Go wash your hair, bro. Bro, I bet you he gonna have his hair washed at that next fucking event. I bet you he gonna have his shit washed. Shit was flaking everywhere, bro.
Hey.
I was like, bro, this dude, it looks greasy. Bruh, you ever get like a bag of tacos in like that brown bag and you see that grease start seeping through? It looked like that's what the fuck what would have happened. They about to run a brown paper bag across the back of his neck. Bro, y'all gotta work on, look. Before y'all come on this internet talking about people that got swag and obviously get more women than you and just all that stuff, right? Before you get on here and start talking about people like that, bro, y'all gotta get y'all hygiene up. Y'all gotta get y'all swag up, bro. I can't be lending y'all motherfucking shoes and seeing how dirty your hair is and how dirty the collar of your fucking shirt is and how bummy your, bro. Like, y'all is not lit like that. All them followers, I bet you if they saw what your fucking hair looked like, they'd be disgusted.
I have a feeling you're not just talking about Junkie anymore. I have a feeling you're bringing about...
Hey, it's a lot of people that fit this fucking description, bro. Get y'all hygiene up, get y'all swag up, and then come on, bro. Get in the gym, start working out, right? Do some push-ups. You low vibrational, low T level, bro. Never mind. Hey, let them know, Danger. We got your back over here, bro.
Absolutely.
Danger's a homie. Shout out to Danger.
You're the
Somebody
real one,
clip
Danger.
this shit and send this to Danger right now. He'll beat the shit out of Junkie, bro. I'll bet every last dollar on that.
Danger, yeah. Danger works out. So
I'll put a paycheck up on Danger. Real talk. Anyway, look, I gotta get out of here, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
sorry.
Hey, Sky's spitting facts. I mean, the man's named Danger for a reason, right?
Exactly.
Damn. Weirdos. Fraud. I can't do this. But look, bye, y'all. Sorry.
Oh,
Bad
don't
dad.
apologize. I appreciate you coming on again. I really
Guys
appreciate
always
this
do.
rant.
Sky's always.
Man.
Shut up.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Thank you, Sky.
Peace.
Have a great night.
Yes, we'll talk. We'll talk, Sky. There's a lot's happened today.
Exactly. A lot's happened. And again, thank you, Sky, for coming on. I always love hearing his thoughts. I always love hearing his rants. And guys, viewers, I promise we're not normally going to do stuff like this. I normally don't like to go after people. But when you go after my friends, I'm going to speak out. I'm going to have a platform to speak out. And anyone else who wants to come on and say what they want, they can.
Yeah.
Go after our friends. That's what will happen. Danger, as Sky said, we got your back. Always.
Shout out to Danger.
Shout out to Danger. And thank you, Josh, for coming on. Thank you, Sky, for coming on. And don't worry, I'm going to get some clips out. Don't guarantee those clips are going to happen quickly. I'm not.
That's exclusives. You got to clip this out.
Yeah, I got a lot of exclusives. I got a clip, so they'll come out when they come out. Though I'll try to get them out this week. But I got work and real life shit. But speaking of which, then that's what's coming up. I guess now I got some clips I need to upload, but I'll at least try to get the stream timestamp tonight. But if you're watching on replay and it's already timestamped, well, that point's kind of moot now, isn't it? And if James Gunn does a retraction and and debunks that Ayer Cut rumor, then we'll speak out on that again. But I guess, Josh, what's coming up with you? Anything coming up on your channel?
No, probably I will be very busy. As I was telling you, I guess I can kind of say it. I might be stepping back again, might be having some health stuff come up, may have to have another surgery, hopefully not. But so I will be with family a lot, but of course I'm always around. I'm always going to be helping out. Me and Sky did chat about the December 5th day, and we were throwing around ideas, and lo and behold, our Superman confirmed it for us right here on the channel. So I will definitely be helping out December 5th, but I know before that, there might be something happening on 11/17. There's always a big day for us. So stay tuned. Might be something happening this month of November. But yeah, I'll just be rocking out with you guys, rocking out with #Cell. And shout out to Danger, who's just a fan speaking his mind. It sucks that gatekeepers in the fandom feel like they need to call out people, and that's all that we're here to do. Like, we're friends, right? So for one person to call out another, I think it was very valid for Sky to come on here and call people out, right? And shout out to you, Bat Dan, for also speaking up, using your voice. That's all we're doing, right? We're definitely just here speaking our minds as fans, and no one should tell another person you're stupid for using your voice. I tell Skywalker all the time, speak up more, use your voice, right? Your perspective. That's what's unique. Zach says that same thing, right? And so I've been influenced by Zach. I know Sky's been influenced by Zach. I know you've been influenced by Zach, right? But then, like, we're all fans. We've all been influenced by Zach. And he's the one telling us our perspective is ours. No one can take it from you. So use your voice and speak on that perspective. And that's all we're doing here. And shout out to Danger for doing that. And I think a lot of people are now speaking out because of Danger. And go and give him a follow. It's Hayden, at Hayden Barton, I believe is his Twitter handle. And great fan, supports AFSP, and all around good dude. So I will just be hanging out with you, Bat Dan, in the meantime, supporting what you got going on. What do you have coming up on the channel?
Thank you, Josh. And yeah, in Danger, I'll get his Twitter handle in the description on replay. But I guess coming up on this channel, I did previously talk about a Venom trilogy review with Sox. Sox is taking a well-deserved vacation right now, so we may or may not get that trilogy review out. We'll see. To be honest, it's not exactly on the top of my priority list right now. So I'm more pumped on some cool DC stuff with Cell and a Penguin review. That's definitely happening. Definitely going to try to get Josh and Zod both on for that one, because we all three surprisingly love that series. And I'm saying surprisingly because we didn't like the Batman, and yet we really love this series. And thank you again, Josh, for coming on. Thank you, Sky, for coming on. Again, I really appreciate it. Sky, never apologize. Never apologize for speaking your mind. But yeah, I think we have a lot of great stuff coming up. We had a great campaign for Batfleck campaign. Again, shout out to you, Batfleck Movie. You did a great job. And you respected the different hashtags. You didn't throw shade. You just did your thing. We did ours. We worked together like a collaboration. And that's how it should be. And hey, on Release the Ayer Cut on Netflix Day, we're not even taking over another trending event day. So, I think we are going to get the Batfleck Movie and Ayer Cut. We just got to keep streaming. And guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more unique takes, interesting thoughts, and great rants such as these. And on that note, any final words, Josh?
#Sell ZSJL to Netflix. Sell SnyderVerse to Netflix. Let's go.
And shout out to you, Zod Writer, for One Punch Dan. And on that note, have a bat-tastic day.
Sell, baby.